Busting the sorority myth of the 4Bs. The 4Bs have been a common saying in the sorority world. It stands for the 4 things that you should not talk about during rush, which there is some truth to. I have another video on what you definitely shouldn't talk about during rush. 4Bs specifically are boys, booze, Bible, and bucks, or bills, but it basically means money. So basically the idea is if you bring up any boys, any partying, any alcohol, if you bring up your religion, and if you bring up money, you will be dropped by a sorority. And it's not as cut and simple as that. There aren't people literally listening to your conversations in the house being like, did she mention a boy? She's out. But I also would say the last two about religion and finances are a bit outdated as well. One, if your religion's really important to you, I feel like it's totally okay to talk about it. If that's something you're interested in, if you're really involved in your church, or a lot of your stories growing up involve religion, I personally think that's completely fine and that's a big part of you. Then for finances, sororities are pretty transparent about how much their dues are, and this usually comes at the beginning of the rush process, where Panhellenic themselves during convocation will tell you the prices for all of the sororities so that you know and that you don't have to waste time in your conversations of getting to know the girls talking about how much their dues are, because you will already have that information to begin with. Another part of this myth is that these girls will be bringing up the 4Bs and that you will have to avoid them to make it to the next round, but the sorority girls are not here to trick you. I have actually heard stories of people talking about boys and booze with the girl. I could see how the conversation can lead that way if you get really comfortable with the girl and both of you are heading that direction, but there's so much more to talk about. I would save those conversations for later.